Hello everyone, my name is Code Gorilla, and today I'm going to be running Crystalis Randomizer. Crystalis, or Godslayer as it is known in Japan, is an action RPG released by SNK in 1990 for the NES. It combines top-down Zelda-esque combat with RPG experience mechanics. While the vanilla game is fairly linear, the randomizer makes a few world map tweaks and scales all of the enemies in the game based on your progress in the seed. The result is a much more open, non-linear, and fast-paced experience. Today I'll be playing on the WHA flag set. WH and WA, the two flags that give this category its name, shuffle all the houses, overworld connection, and cave connections in the game. Stumbling out of the starting cave directly into the endgame may leave you saying, "What?" Full disclosure, for the sake of recording this submission video, I am playing this on emulator. I have a new flashcard on order, which is all I am missing to run this on official hardware, but it did not arrive in time for submissions. For the actual event, I will be able to run on official hardware per GDQ's requirements. With that disclaimer and introduction out of the way, I'm going to set up a few things here because I have... This particular flag set requires taking a fair amount of notes, so you can see some things on the screen in the recording here. I'm just pulling up some things on my end. I'm also going to have a tracker going for the sake of the viewer. Help you follow along at home. So, alright. That should be good. Everything should be where I want it to be. Here is a rough rundown of the flag. I'm not going to go through all of these in detail, but know that this list here, these G's, these are glitches that are enabled. W is world state, things that are shuffled. Notably, the WH and WA. WA is in this tracker, but it's on in this flag set, and this is the WH that isn't supported in the tracker. ME means the enemy weaknesses are going to be shuffled. Orbs not required to break walls. That's going to be a big one in terms of letting us actually get around the world more quickly and opening up more things. And battle magic not guaranteed just means I'm going to have some harder boss fights. That's the very quick overview of this flag set. There's a lot to go into once we actually get into the run. And this tends to be a slightly longer run, so let's just go ahead and get into it. This is our name entry screen. As always, these are good for, various incentives. Bid wars type things. And with that, we can get started here in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, right. It helps if I actually press start on the controller. False start. Let's try that again. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so let's see what we've got right off the bat. Warrior Ring and Power Ring. Those are both really good equipment for combat. Now, they'll be better if I actually, have a sword to fight with, but I do not start with the sword. So, we're going to check some things. This is Zebu's Cave. We're going to go look at the wall here. We can't do anything here because Zebu hasn't spawned in yet. We need Sword of Fire to get through that wall. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these, and I need to remember how my tracker works. So, we have that. We have Zebu's Cave here. Got an enemy that's just going to walk into me. Zebu's Cave needs Sword of Fire to get through it. Alright, this is the starting area that you normally experience. This cave needs the windmill key to be turned into the windmill. Of course, the windmill is not where it's supposed to be, so that may be quite some time off. Ah! This is what we call the answering machine. It's an important check in that it opens up some things potentially later on. Where do I have the answering machine in my tracker? Sorry, I'm getting distracted looking at the tracker. Cordell Plains. Alright, so this is another big hub area. We're going to draw this line. We're going to find this Messia's message. There's Messia. I found her. We're just going to put that there to remind myself that I have checked that entrance, and there's nothing there. Alright. Now, the entrance we just came through, you need teleport to go up through it, but coming down through it, it'll push you through just fine, so you're good to go there. I am going to go to the left first, because there is a freestanding item in the grass here that I want to pick up. It's a rusty statue. So one of the flags that's on in this flag set is unidentified key items. So there are 4 key item statues in the game. That could be any one of them. Alright, up here we have Rage. Rage wants us to have a sword of some kind. One specific sword. We don't know which one yet. Alright, this cave isn't open. It probably needs a key to open it as well. And here we have our first town, the town of Portoa. So we're going to just stick that on our map here. Now these houses are also randomized. This is one of the important houses. This is the Oak Mother in Portoa. Just going to be taking some quick notes. Let's see, what can I buy here? No healing, which is unfortunate, and also no warp boots. Both of those are very handy to have in the early game, but there may be other item shops in this town. Case in point. Still no healing, but we do have warp boots. I'm gonna go ahead and buy a pair of warp boots. That might be a mistake, we'll see. Alright, off to the left from Portoa, we have Mount Hydra. I'm not going to be able to do anything in Mount Hydra. Well, I say that. There is a check that I can get in Mount Hydra. I should go get it. So let's just very quickly get this one check. And if this is nothing, I can actually just reset out of it and come back later. Get the rest of the items. You know what? No, I'm going to reset out of that. So, there's a fairly robust checkpointing system in this game. Basically, every overworld area and every town will checkpoint as you walk into it. That's rough. So, you can soft reset and gain, get back to where you were pretty easily. Or if you accidentally take a death, that as well. So that is this big green blob here. That is Goa Fortress. That is going to be important later on, because that's where a bunch of our bosses live. Our goal of the game is to beat all of the major bosses, and collect all 4 swords, and then go beat Dragon in the Crypt, and ascend to the tower, and do the normal endgame sequence for Chrysalis. Alright, we've got another town down here. This is the town of Sahara. Sahara... Item shop. Has medical herbs. I can't afford them now, but good to know they're here. Alright. That hub doesn't matter. More expensive medical herbs. Don't buy those. Up here we've got the Bunny Meadow. And past it we've got some kind of transition cave. Got a few enemies in it. And this is going to take us into the bow passage. Fascinating. Alright, I can't do anything here, so I'm going to reset. But that is the spot that I need to go once I have 2 bows. Alright, so what does that leave? That leaves, actually, it's going to be faster. So there's a tool, there's a cheat code / debug option in the vanilla game called Wild Warping, where I forget what the button combination is, but you input some button combination on controller 2, and it will warp you to one of 16 different spots in the game. For the randomizer, that's been mapped to new inputs on controller 1, so you can do it more easily. And also, most of the time, it is nerfed to only take you back to the beginning of the game. But that's a very convenient way to get back to the beginning of the game if you need to. So we are now in the town of Swan. Add that to my map. And that shack could be important. Probably isn't, but here we go. We found the Leaf Elder. Leaf Elder gives you an item for free. Normally it's the one in the very first starting town, and he'll give you your starting sword. But of course that is a randomized check, because this is a randomizer. This is the Swan Dance Hall. Oddly, where it's supposed to be in Swan, even in the same building. And now we're in the desert. The desert's a little rough because that dark brown sand you see there is going to deal damage to us if we walk into it. So we're going to just take this safe path along the edge. We don't have any healing, which is not ideal. But we want to get into this cave. Alright, this is not helpful. This is Evil Spirit Island. Yeah. So that's going to need, at a minimum, either Flight or Sword of Water to get into. So where is Evil Spirit Island Cave? Not much we can do there. So only one place left to check. We've been pretty thorough about checking our options. But there could be a cave down here, and there is. There's not always a cave there. One of the things the randomizer adds is it adds a cave that comes in from the Game Boy Color version of the game. Heat lamp is interesting. Ah. Hey, we found a sword. Okay. A lot of things just happened there. I need a moment to explain all of them. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6. There we go. So, what happened? So first of all, we got another transition cave into Carissa Plant Meadow, which normally just has the Carissa plant in that patch of grass there. Of course, that is another randomized check. And it gave us a lamp. And in the vanilla game, you use the glowing lamp on the broken statue to repair it and make it become the Statue of Gold. What I did instead is I used the glowing lamp. I used the lamp on a statue, and it turned into the Sword of Water. And that means we now have a weapon. We can now farm money if we need to. We can freeze the bridges in Evil Spirit Island, and that's where I'm heading to right now. Because other than that, the only other option is Rage at the moment. So we're gonna take a shortcut here. Take a little bit more damage, but should be fine. I do also have this warrior ring from the beginning of the game that lets you, normally, to get a charge shot off, you'd have to stop moving and hold down the attack button until you're fully charged. But warrior ring just lets you shoot off one of those shots on every attack, whether or not you're moving. So it's a very powerful item to get this early on. Alright, hopefully we're able to actually do something here. The thing is, there are these bridges that I need to form using the Sword of Water. But there are also walls blocking the exits, and those walls may or may not be vulnerable to the Sword of Water. And they are not, so I can't actually do anything here. Alright, then our next play is Rage. So, to get there, I want to go to Portella. And actually, in the play after that is doing stuff on Mount Hydra. I can get at least another check and another entrance there. Up here to Rage. Rage, do you want the Sword of Water? Yes, you do. That is one of those things that is randomized. In the vanilla game, it is in fact Sword of Water, but it can be randomized to any of the 4 swords. Alright, so Rage leads us to... this is Oasis Cave. Now, one of the exits here I'm only going to be able to get with Flight, but I can go downstairs and get a bunch of items and another exit. So, we'll do that. I'm gonna run up here. I got Rage's item. I got Leaf Elder. That is a Mimic. And as a Mimic that I cannot defeat. So Mimics, some chests in the games are Mimics. They're weak to 2 of the 4 elements. If you can defeat them... Actually, I should just be resetting here. If you can defeat them, they will drop quite a bit of gold for their level. But unfortunately, I am unable to with the weapon that I currently have. Which is a shame, because I could use that money. So now we're just going to run around here. Get another key. Lots of keys early on. Keys are interesting, especially in this flag set, because there's going to be randomly sealed or locked... that's not the right one to freeze. Randomly sealed or locked cave entrances. And opening those up is going to end up being potentially quite useful. So I want to note that ESI had wind walls. Zebu's Cave had ice walls. Both of those are vanilla, which is a little funny. Alright, so this... Oh. This is the other side of Zebu's Cave, so this isn't actually going to get us anywhere. But I can at least defeat these enemies for a little bit of experience, yeah. This is the other side of Zebu's Cave. That's at least good news, because that means we don't have to go back there and check it again later. So the main thing I have going for me now, then, is I have these 2 keys. Now, I can't use one up there. I need to go down again. We're gonna just make sure to kill some of these enemies to get some money and some experience. So, I mentioned in the introduction the scaling of the game. You can see down in the status bar, there's my level, LB02. I'm level 2. And just underneath that, there is a DL, which stands for difficulty level, or danger level, as some people like to call it. And what that is for every key item you find in the game, that goes up by 1. And the enemies, every, 4 levels or so, the enemies go up a level. And will deal more damage to you, have more hit points, take more hits to kill, have more defense, that sort of thing. So, that's how the game scales the encounters. Okay, I am poisoned, and I need to not be poisoned. So we're going to go up here real quick. And then we're going to reset. Because the trick is, if you make a checkpoint, the game does not save status effects across checkpoints. Right. We've got a couple of keys. I'm gonna see if either of them open this. Ah, aha! Okay. That person... That shadow wanted a piece of me. Alright. Before I go... Well, actually, no. I'm gonna go in here first. Because I don't know that I can actually do anything here, but it is nice to know that this is Mount Saber North. Yeah, okay. I cannot do anything here. We'll just reset because it's slightly faster. Heading into Portoa here, because I believe there's an inn. But Sahara had the healing items. And I would like to go pick up some of those. Maybe another pair of work boots or 2, because I've been walking around a lot, and... Actually, I say that. I should just go to Mount Hydra, which is here. Right. I want the second item shop, because I am going to buy some work boots while I'm here. Work boots are, as always, quite expensive. So, am I going to value the items more, or the entrance? I think I'm going to get the items. Hang on. Before I forget, I need to mark that Mount Saber North comes off of Cordell Plains. These maps get kind of messy. What I'm gonna do to help that is take everything and move it over a little bit. And I need Sword of Thunder to get into Mount Saber North. Oh, I can actually defeat these Flail Knights. That's nice. Really? You're gonna poison me? Alright. So, getting a little bit of experience and money. I can get at least one item here, and if the walls are friendly to me, I can get more. Although, I might run out of hit points before I can get anything here. Alright. You are in the way. I think I'm gonna die here. Yep. Alright. That poison ended up being a death sentence. Let's run it back. Just head up there really quick and just don't get poisoned this time. It's that simple. Alright. I am doing this for only one item, but I am getting a little bit of experience and money along the way. Hopefully the one item is something good. Early on in these seeds, you end up having to do a lot of little one-off checks just because the maps are so scrambled that it's hard to get really deep into anything. Once I find a dungeon where I can actually break the walls, I'll be in much better shape. Alright, we've got a large slime here. There's a large poison slime, no less. Alright. Well, that's a little disappointing. We're gonna warp back to Portella here. And go out the other side of Mount Hydra here. Again, I think this is our only available progress at the moment, given that ESI needed the Sword of Wind. Let's mark that, by the way, lest I forget. Ow. Alright, normally you need change to get past these guys, but there's a glitch you can do, which I just did there, and I'm going to do again here, where if you kind of walk behind them and hold down and left into them, you can push your way past them by just buttoning through the inputs repeatedly. This is the town of Goa. Ah, good. Medical herbs. I need to buy a couple of these. That is our healing item. Very useful to have, especially early on when you don't have a lot of defense going on. So Goa is here. Goa the town. Leads to Portella Castle, which is somewhere here. Portella Castle, there it is. These count as houses, so I need to check these. Some very expensive medical herbs. Glad we found cheaper ones. And ooh, some kind of cheap warp boots, but not super convenient to get back to. Magic ring for the queen's item. The queen has already left because I found Messia's message, aka the answering machine. This is Windmill Cave. I need to remember it just because this is where a sleeping guard will spawn later, and it'll be a check if I have the alarm clue. Ooh, and that is horrible, painful death. Let's not go that way. That seems bad. That's the swamp. You're supposed to use hazmat suit to get through there. I don't have hazmat suit, so I will just instead die a painful death. So, I see where else I can go. we're going to teleport to Portella. And there's one more exit off of Cordell Plains, because there is a river that I can freeze down here. So we're going to go this way. And end up... This looks like Lime Valley. There's no cave on the left side, so we're just going to the right. Let's just drop this in real quick. Again, I'm gonna shove it down here to make space. But, nope. And then cross that out. There we go. Hooray, we can start the game! That's usually the very first cave you come out of at the very beginning of the game. It's always funny to come at it from the other direction. Alright, this needs a Sword of Fire. So that is the backside of Carissa Plant Cave, and it needs Sword of Fire. So where else can I go? Can't go there, can't go there. I have another key, but I haven't seen any other locked things. Oh, no, I have. I am a fool. I can go to the Stixie entrance. So, let's go do that. I've gotta walk a little bit. Maybe I can pick up some money so I can actually use one of the inns along the way. Alright, not with these enemies. Those enemies require some form of level 3 combat upgrade to kill, and the scorpions just aren't weak to water. Okay, so this is not ideal. We'll use one of these medical herbs, because I am low on health. And yeah, I have no warp boots. That's okay. Let's make sure to kill a couple of enemies to get their money. It's especially easy to do and quick to do if you have the warrior ring. As you can see, I can kind of just push them along the wall here with these charge shots. Alright. Stand still. Thank you. Alright, so up here... This place is called Stixie. It's probably supposed to be Styx, but in the original game, it's misspelled Stixie, and that's kind of stuck in the community. Right. If I want to kill this guy, I need to not have the key equipped. The door easily opens. Hooray. Aha! And I get the Sword of Thunder, which means I get warped somewhere. Okay, so, the Sword of Thunder in the vanilla game, when you get it, will warp you to a... actually, it'll warp you specifically right here to Chiron. In the randomizer, by default, it'll warp you to a random town. Now, this time, I happen to get Chiron. So, let's note down, Rokuhana is in Goa, and Clark's house here is in Chiron. I need to write down that the Chiron Temple is at the top of Mount Hydra, and that we are now in Chiron, and I have no idea where that is in relation to anything else in the game. There's an inn, and you... I already got the Elder item, so you're not the right Elder. And Chiron... This is a thing that happens in the generation sometimes. Chiron has connected to itself. Which means the only way to get here is to teleport here by using the Sword of Thunder, and the only way to get out is to teleport away, or wild warp away, as the case may be. Which I had to do there because I had no warp boots. But now I have a Sword of Thunder, which means now I can go to Mount Saber North. Which means we'll be fighting our first of the major bosses. Assuming that Mount Saber North is actually our progress, which can't currently think of, off the top of my head, what else it could be. I believe going in the Goa entrance requires, at least logically requires, having the barrier spell. There is a setting to not require the barrier spell for the barrier shooters, but it is not on in this flag set. So, yeah. This is the Vampire Cave entrance here. Actually leads to Mount Saber North. Let's go fight a boss. Or at least attempt to. Enemy weaknesses are randomized, so there's only a 50-50 chance that I have this boss's weakness. All the major bosses are only weak to one type of sword. And this one is weak to water. Thankfully, the Warrior Ring will make quick work of this fight. And we can move on. I have a flute of some kind. Now I need to remember to go back in here and get the very important Sword of Wind. We're flying right along. I'm gonna take care of this guy real quick. Normally those guys are a little bit annoying to kill, but sometimes you just gotta deal with them. The most annoying thing about the Dragonia soldiers is just that they have really high defense. Alright, I'm gonna set a checkpoint here. And we're gonna come in here, go through this back wall. So we're gonna be able to get all the items off of Mount Saber North, which is nice. Wait, I have a third sword. Hang on. I'm gonna kill this Mimic. I'm gonna get its money. And in fact, Mimics respawn when you re-enter the room. I'm gonna do it again. But 2 is probably enough. You can see that each of these is worth, like, almost 300 gold. Which is quite a lot of money, especially when you need to buy lots and lots and lots of work boots. I'm gonna actually walk down through the inside of the cave. And just do this entire cave, essentially backwards. The actual fastest way to do it is to slide down to the bottom, go until you hit the second item, and then teleport away. But I don't want to teleport away when I'm done, so I'm gonna do this just backwards. And walk all the way to the shop. There's a little inn at the bottom of the main slope of Mount Saber North called Nadares, or Nadares, depending on how you feel like pronouncing it. And that is one of the towns that you can teleport to, so we'll be getting that as a warp point as well. But if you're looking on my little mini-map that I've been drawing, there's a red dot on the green rectangle that is Mount Saber North. Basically, all the red spots are where there are towns in the game. I have them red on this mini-map so that I can kind of easily tell where it is I can warp to when I am trying to figure out where it is I want to go next. With Sword of Wind, our options have kind of opened up a little bit, because we now have ESI available to us. We have Mount Hydra, the rest of Mount Hydra available to us, except for the very last check, which requires flight. Okay, that might be it. It might not be quite as opened up as I had hoped. Just gonna continue to make sure to kill some enemies, and this Mimic. This one is too far away from the doorway for it to be worth actually going and farming it multiple times, but that's okay. We now have a lot more money. So the first opportunity we get to buy items, we'll be able to get some good stuff, hopefully. And hopefully that'll be coming up in just a moment here. as we've gotten all the items out of Mount Saber North. Oh, right. These triggers still exist, even though I'm approaching this backwards, and have already beat the boss here, but... I'm gonna note down that Kelbeth 1 is defeated. And, alright, that's an inn. I'm not gonna bother using the inn. That's nothing, and this is an armor shop. I can't afford either of these pieces of armor. It's also usually not worth it to buy armor, but there are a few odd cases where you would. Alright, we're gonna climb all the way down this slope. Because there is another overworld transition here. And this takes us to another town, conveniently. So this is Leaf. This is normally the starting town. Alright. That is the Swan Shack. That'll start the Tag Kensu storyline, or quest line, I suppose. Can't really do anything more with it until I have Paralysis and have found the other Tag Kensu spots. Ah, here we go. Alright, I've purchased 3 pairs of warp boots. And get rid of this Lysis plant. And this Fruit of Power. And buy 2 medical herbs. Oh, that's another item shop. Ah, and we hit a dead end here. This requires change to get past this gate. So I'm just gonna stick that there, and we can teleport to somewhere else. And that somewhere else is going to be, I think, Evil Spirit Island, because it's got 4 items and progress to a new part of the game. So... Evil Spirit Island is close to Swan. Alright, can do some walking around the edge here until I get to here. Ow. Flyers are the worst in this game, because they will just come in out of nowhere and body you. I have 3 swords, and none of them hurt scorpions. Fantastic. Well, there's only 4 swords in the game, so I know what scorpions are weak to. The good news is, even if you can't damage them, you can kind of push them out of the way by just spamming charge shots. There's a shadow there. Alright. Sword of Wind is what I need. Is it wind? Sort of. Ugh. Let's use one of these medical herbs. Let's just play it safe. Let's not die. Not dying is good, so I've heard. Take care of that bird. You might notice me switching between swords without going into my menu. That is something that the randomizer added. If you hold select and press the attack button, you'll cycle through your swords. Which is extremely handy because, honestly, one of the biggest complaints about playing vanilla is how often you have to go into your menu to switch which weapon you're using. Alright, there's 2 in this little side cave over here. We have Medusas, which are a fairly docile enemy and pretty easy to farm. Usually you see a lot of them at once, but we only got 1 of them here. Pick up that medical herb. Just in case. And... we've got 1 more item here in Evil Spirit Island. And then we'll see what's on the other side. Hopefully it'll be another hub area, and we can have a bunch more options to explore. Alright, we gotta wait for the platform here. And now we just hope we don't get tackled by a flyer while we're helpless on this bridge. Great, we didn't get tackled by a flyer. Those flying bugs in particular will drop pollen that will paralyze you, which is really annoying. Ooh, okay. So that was a series of events that just happened. First of all, we found the Angry Sea. And that is a fairly large chunk of things to find. Notably, though, it requires either flight or the shell flute to get around. Now, it turns out this flute that we picked up a moment ago is the shell flute, so we can actually make progress here. I'm going to run down here to check out this building. Alright, this is the fisherman's house, is at Beach House, and the fisherman is looking for a Metroid amiibo, which is a type of statue. The funny thing is, when you get that and turn it in, it'll let you use the boat. I had to find the boat elsewhere in the world, and it takes me to that spot where that house was. Rabbit boots are kind of nice, although I think I'm going to stick to the warrior ring. And sure, we'll go this way. This seems as good a way to go as any. Oh, hang on. This seems like a great way to go, because I found the answering machine already. So, this is normally behind Portoa Castle. You're going to give me a water upgrade, and I can get a thunder upgrade later on. Fantastic. And that's a shield ring. Okay. So, the queen there will give you an item, and will give you a hint as to what item you can get off of the ocean. Alright, and this is the beach house. So, this leads me to Lighthouse, and Beach House is at Lighthouse. No, not Lighthouse. At Windmill. Okay. Fantastic. That's good, because that means I don't have to go any further south on this map. Let's see, Ooh, I could go north here. I got the rabbit boots. So that lets me do a glitch called Fake Flight, which will let you trick the game into thinking you have flight by hopping off the dolphin in a very specific way. That said, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go this way first. Mainly because Fake Flight is kind of a tricky glitch to do. It's not too difficult, but there's this perfectly good cave here that will have some stuff in it potentially. Alright, and this has led me to GBC Cave. So this is a cave that is not in the vanilla game. Is added in by the randomizer. It's based off of a cave from the Game Boy Color version of the game. Okay. So this is actually there-ish. Move that over there a little bit. Yeah, the map's getting a little cramped, but that happens. Right, I need Sword of Wind to actually deal with the Medusas here. Oop, uh-oh. Well, the good news is I got petrified with my sword sticking out, so if any enemy had tried to come up to me and walked into my sword, they would have still taken damage from it. And that's a thing that can help protect you. But also, Medusas are fairly docile. They have random movement, which means more often than not, if they petrify you, they just aren't going to walk into you. As opposed to some other enemies that can petrify have movement that specifically tries to chase you and will definitely walk into you if they petrify you. Ah, there's our third key. We haven't found the windmill lock to put it in yet, but it's certainly a good thing to have. Alright. So I'm going to check this entrance first. There are two other ways out of this cave, though, or there are two, not counting the one I came in. This and one other. Okay. Well, I checked this first. There's not much I can do here. I guess there's one thing I can do here, and I will do it. And that is see if this other cave exit is here. I started to talk about this earlier when we were in Cordell Plains. And in Lime Valley. Okay, it's not here. But there are... So the GBC cave, like I said, was added to the randomizer. And in doing so, there are two exits out of this cave, and they lead to 2 of 4 random places. In this case, it looks like it's supposed to lead to Cordell Plains and Goa Valley, because it does not lead to Lime Valley or Desert 2. That said, because of all the entrances being randomized, all that really tells us is 2 of those caves are active this game, 2 of them are not. And we know which ones are not active now. And which ones are. Alright. Go around here. Continuing to get messy. I am going to choose to go left across this bridge first. And I find the fisherman's house, which has the windmill in it. Perfect. Let's turn on that windmill. And let's make sure to draw a line that goes here. I cannot, nor do I want to take that boat at the moment. So we'll just be satisfied with turning in the windmill key. So windmill at fisherman, and that is done. The Leaf Shack in Swan is done. The Joel Shack must be in Joel. Alright, so we're gonna freeze that, and cross here. Hey, look, it's Joel. Convenient that. So yeah, this is the Joel Shack. Can't do anything there yet. I need the eyeglasses to open that up. Here's the Oak Elder, also in Joel. And that's about all there is here. But it is nice to have this as just, hey, here's a warp point if I want to get back to this part of the world again. I'm going to draw a line out of this on my map to help me remember that that's where the Joel Shack is, which means there's another exit out of there once I have the eyeglasses. Until then, though, I can't do anything with it. There is a entrance off of this plane to the top left, but that requires flight to get up that slope. So we will not be doing that yet. Instead, I'm going to come down here. I'm once again going to go left before I go right. Just because I think the overworld entrance is more interesting than the what's it called? The cave entrance. Alright. So this is the town of Bryn Mawr. Again, it's nice to have some towns down here to work to. We found out that Akahana wants a lamp. And he'll give us an item if we find his lamp. Here's Queen Arillis. She also wants an item, but she also wants us to change into a girl before we give her the item. So we need both the item she wants, which I don't know what it is yet, and the spell change. And here's Kensu. So this is the Swan Pub in Bryn Mawr, and Queen Arillis in Bryn Mawr. Both of those are useful to know about. Of course, Akahana is always hanging out here in Bryn Mawr. Alright, so now we can go do this cave, whatever's over here. Nope. Or not. So that leads us back to Desert 2. And an exit that doesn't do anything for us until we have Flight. Which means we're basically done over here. I need to go... I probably should go back to the Angry Sea. Easiest way to do that, I think, is going to be to teleport to Joel. So I'm going to do something here. There's a pawn shop here. And I'm going to sell these 2 magic rings. Magic rings are very powerful consumables. They will fully restore your MP. And that is fantastic if you have basically any magic at all to use. I, however, do not. So I will not be needing them just yet. You definitely want some of them for the end game, but they tend to clog up your inventory if you get them too early. And they're worth a decent amount of money, so it's usually worth selling the, like, first 1 or 2 that you pick up. Unless you don't get any until really late. Alright, so we're just backtracking a little bit here. There's not really a good way to get back to the ocean for me right now. Because it's either I have to come through this cave or I have to come through Evil Spirit Island. And of the 2 options, this is definitely the shorter option. Come out here. We're gonna use our bassoon, summon the dolphin. We're gonna just take a quick stab at these jellyfish again. And, you remember that difficult trick I mentioned earlier? Well, we're gonna go do that now, because I think that is the thing to do. So, I need to equip the rabbit boots for that. And, yeah, okay, I have them on. They let you hop if you have no magic equipped, which I don't. And you do something like that. I'm impressed I got it that quickly, honestly. You do something like that, and you trick the game into thinking you have Flight. And that lets you just fly across the ocean. You can see, it thinks I'm using the Flight spell. It's draining my MP as I'm doing it. Alright, well... this didn't exactly pan out. This is Tornell's house, at Tornell's house. So, Tornell's house, at Tornell. Which means the lighthouse is at the lighthouse. And it also means I need to go somewhere else. Because I can't do anything here until I've been to Oak at least once. Okay. Crystal Planet K is off the table. Swamp is off the table. There's all of that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Where can I go? Hang on. Just a dadgum minute. Oh, I know where I can go. I'm actually not going to use these warp boots. So the whole point of doing all of that down there, according to the logic, was to find and turn in that windmill key. Because now, I can go this way. Boom. Hey look, it's my trophy. Some of the key... oh, of course it's Oak. It wants me to go back to that place I just left from. Thanks, game. So, some of the community names are... unidentified item names are based on various community members. Either because they've won randomizer tournaments in the past, they've had top times on the vanilla speedrun leaderboard, or, in my case, I've defeated something called the Full Stupid, which is, basically all the miserable flags to play on, like, all the most random flags, and also there's, Blackout in all the caves, and permadeath, and randomized maps. So, you know, it's kind of a nightmare. It took me 5 hours to do it. My successful runs have taken me 5 hours, and I've had a number of failed runs. You will note that I have not submitted that to GDQ, because it's also, because it's permanent blackout mode, it's not a good viewing experience either, so. I find this flag set to have basically all the parts of the Full Stupid that I actually enjoy, and none of the things that make it the Full Stupid. So we are once again walking through this cave, and I get to take flight a second time, because I'm pretty sure that's where it wants me to go. Oh, I can also try to use this Code Gorilla trophy. I don't know what it's for yet. I also, apparently... Oh, right. Hang on. Before I forget. Oak was the thing that was off of Wind Valley. Great. So... let's go up here for 2 reasons. One, this is a place where I could maybe use that trophy. Nope. And 2... that is the easier spot to do this trick. Now you're gonna watch me struggle with it after I got it, like, first try last time, but... of course, it wants me to do it basically twice in a row. There we go. Yeah, like I said, it's one of the harder glitches that's enabled in this flag set. It might actually be the hardest glitch enabled in this flag set. Alright. So now we get to do this, and we're gonna actually skip out of this fight and automatically win by using a pair of work boots during the fight. Alright, we can go to... let's go to... Sahara. I don't know, I have a good feeling about Sahara. Hazmat suit. And Tornell is going to be waiting for me at the top of Mount Saber West and wanting the flame bracelet. Okay, so I got the hazmat suit. Hazmat suit is good. That lets me go... okay, I see where I need to go now. We're actually going to Goa. Now, does Goa have an item shop? Yes. Does the Goa item shop sell work boots? Also, yes. Nope, I wanted to buy one more. Thank you. Okay. So we can go here, because what that hazmat suit lets us do is, you remember that swamp that tried to absolutely murder us earlier? Well, now it won't murder us as much. I have a statue. 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not the Whirlpool statue, and it's not the Fisherman statue. So, it is the other trade-in statue. 2 of the statues are trade-ins, and 2 of them do other things. This is Goa Valley. Bunch of stuff to do off of Goa Valley. I like to go check this entrance first, because it's a special type of entrance called the Palace Entrance. And most of the palace entrances are important for beating the game. This is one of them. This is the Pyramid. Put this warrior ring back on so I can fight these enemies. Alright. So we're gonna get the items out of here. There are 3 items here. 2 of which are locked behind a boss. There's that Metroid amiibo for the Fisherman. The boss here is one of the major bosses required, but it is not like the other major bosses in that it is weak to every element. And it's kind of a pushover because this boss has no iframes. And so I can't just completely trivialize the boss because I don't have any bracelets, but Warrior Ring is going to make quick work of Emperor Dragon here, as you can see. Ooh, Speed Boots. Okay. So Speed Boots let me go fast. Since this is a speed run, I will be putting those on. I also have a kazoo. New flute of some kind. Alright, let's check this cave. Now the downside is I now have to actually charge my charge shots, or just stab enemies. Okay, so this is the other side of Carissa Plant Cave, which we have seen. Still needs Sword of Fire, so I can't get the one item that's hidden in there. Right, I need to mark that I found the front pyramid, and it's there. Although I don't ever need to go back there, so that's nice. We found Mount Saber West. Oh, and I just scrolled this entire thing. Yeah, everything's off the screen now. Whatever. It's gonna be a little messy. You'll just have to trust me that Mount Saber West is marked on the map now. It has another cave coming out of it. This is another cave that requires a Sword of Fire. This, I believe, has to be Fog Lamp Cave. Wait, no, this might be the back of Windmill Cave. Or Sealed Cave, rather. Either way, it needs Sword of Fire. I can't do much there, but I can go try to get the items off of Mount Saber West. Or at least some of them. We're gonna gobble down one of these medical herbs. I'm gonna use the speed boots to actually run up that slope. And check this spot first. Nope, this also needs Sword of Fire. So I can't do anything over here yet, so let's leave and go explore the last remaining exit from Goa Valley. Which I am looking at my map now and what's left, and it is probably the town of Amazonas. Which probably doesn't have anything important in it, but it is a warp point, so I should go get it. Yep. As I thought. That was just the last north-south connection to find. Alright, that different music, by the way, means that's the inn from Chiron. That's important because there's an event later on called the Chiron Massacre that causes all of Chiron and all of Chiron's buildings to become abandoned. Even if those buildings were found in different places in the world. That's probably too many warp boots, but that's okay. So where can I go next? I can go... I can actually go give the thing to the fisherman, which is, once again, on the Angry Sea, which means going to Joel and going through GBC Cave. Okay. And after I do that, I go to... I turn that in, and the beach house is at the windmill, and the windmill is... Okay. Alright, Sword of Wind deals with the Medusas. Not in this room, but in the next room. Well... This doesn't open up onto a checkpoint, does it? Alright. Actually, I have a plan. So, remember how I said Medusas are incredibly docile and typically don't walk into you if you get petrified? So here, I'm exploiting the fact that you can only have one status effect at a time in this game. So, I was poisoned. I intentionally got myself petrified there. And as a result, that cleared my poison. And then the petrification goes away on its own after a little while. So all I had to do was wait it out, and we're good. Oh, I also have this flute that... I could go check to see if it's the insect flute. I don't think I can do anything else with it. So, I'm coming here, I'm going over to the beach house, and then I'm going through the Portoa entrance. Yeah. I haven't found Waterfall Cave, so I can't test Fruit of Lime, or Flute of Lime. Right. I have this. Alright. And then this is going to take me over to the windmill. Some point soon, I am going to think about breaking logic to go into Goa. I don't technically, you need to have barrier to logically get into the front entrance, at least, of Goa. But you can just kind of tank all of those things and not worry about that. Alright, this didn't pan out, so I can go somewhere else instead. I was gonna go test the flute. Flute is at the swamp. Swamp is at... fastest way to get there is Amazons. So, let's put on this hazmat suit. Run over here. Get myself poisoned. Make a quick checkpoint to be able to reset and heal that poison. No? Not the insect flute. Okay. Alright, where can I go? Where can I go? Where can I go? I can't do Windmill Cave because I haven't found Zebu's student yet. Oh, did I? Oh. I might have missed something here. Amazonas might not have been completely useless. Yep, okay. Alright, that's my mistake. So yeah, that is Zebu's student. Talking to the Leaf Elder and Zebu's student will spawn Zebu in Zebu's cave. Talking to Zebu in Zebu's cave will spawn the lighthouse guard, or the windmill guard, in the windmill cave. And the windmill guard needs to be woken up by a flute. So there's a decent chance that the flute that I have in my inventory is in fact the alarm flute. And that is what I need to go do. So where on here is my windmill cave? Windmill cave, I know you're on here somewhere. No really, where is this windmill cave? Oh, okay, it's there. I see it now. It's actually just on the other side of the swamp. So we're gonna warp to Goa. Run through Portoa Castle here. I feel like we're gonna get something major soon to really open up the seed. Yep. Hey! What did I say? Something major soon to really open up this seed. Alright, flight gets us to... Oh, almost too many places. Honestly, just too many places. The first place I'm gonna go, though, is this item shop here, and I'm gonna buy a couple more pairs of work boots. Because I still need quick ways to get around. Then I'm gonna use this pair of warp boots, and I am going to... you know what? It's actually in logic now. I think it's time to go into Goa. Because there is a trick I can use here to get around these barrier statues by flying over them. So that was me triggering the Chiron Massacre by coming here with the Sword of Thunder. And I can get in the front door. Now, the order of these Goa floors is randomized, but the shapes of the floors are not, so I know where to go. This is Sabera's floor. This is normally the second floor that you find. There are 3 chests here, and 2 walls. One of the walls is actually blocking the boss, so we'll see if we're actually able to... You know what? I don't need this money. We'll see if we're actually able to get to the boss. 25% chance that we're not. Some more warp boots. Not unwelcome at this stage. Although the randomizer is going to do the thing that the randomizer always does, which is, you bought too many warp boots, so here's teleport. Opal statue. That is a very, very nice consumable. That is an auto-revive and full heal upon dying. So that is very useful for fighting some of the more difficult bosses. Just a nice safety tool to make sure you don't die. I've heard not dying is good. Alright, we can get to the boss. Can we fight the boss? I would like to have barrier for this boss usually, but it is what it is. Alright. This is going to be not as quick as a fight as I'd like, but not too bad because I have Warrior Ring. Sabera 2 is the tankiest of all of the major bosses. Has the most hit points and the highest defense. Warrior Ring is going to do a lot of work here, but otherwise this would be a very tedious fight. Not the most dangerous boss, but the slowest boss, potentially. I'm gonna pop one of these medical herbs, though. I don't want to use my opal here. I want to save it for the more dangerous bosses later on. And as long as I don't die during the fight, there is a full heal immediately after the fight. Alright, battle armor. That is one of the 2 pieces of armor you can find in a chest. It's the highest defense armor that you can find in a chest, and it will prevent you from getting poisoned. So, very nice to have. Gonna make a checkpoint here. Although, it looks like I didn't need to, because I'm immediately being thrown into the most difficult boss fight in the game. This is Motto 2. Motto 2, the Pinball Ninja. He does this, and is impossible to hit. It does a lot of damage. I'm glad to have... Okay, that's pink. That's not pink. Okay, so weak to thunder. Alright, the play here might actually be to use Power Ring and try to get in his face and just stab him. Although not when he hides in the walls like that. Coward. No, you know what? I'm going back to Warrior Ring. This is the sort of boss that I wouldn't mind using an opal on. Although, I think I might be able to avoid it, so I'm going to use this medical herb. Alright, I managed to avoid using the opal. Just get rewarded with an antidote there, but we also get rewarded with progress deeper into Goa. So, I've defeated Sabera 2, Motto 2. First floor was Sabera, right side up. Second floor is Motto, upside down. We're gonna drop down into this pit. You get this item here. Ooh. Butterflies are very obnoxious. They move rather erratically, and if you defeat one of them, they explode into burst pollen, and those pollens will paralyze you. And what paralysis means in this game is you can't do charge shots anymore. And since that is necessary for breaking walls, that can be a major pain in the butt if you get paralyzed in a bad spot. Yeah, I'm gonna drop these antidotes because I can't get poisoned anymore. You'll notice me doing these little hops across the spiked floors. If you time your button presses correctly, you will avoid taking damage and avoid taking using MP on the flight spell at the same time, which is very handy. If you're brave, you can even do it over these pits, but I usually choose not to because I'm not so confident in my button presses that I won't fall down the pit. Alright. That's all the items off of Motto's floor. We now get to go on to the next floor. Alright, and now we have another boss. This is Kelbesk 2. Kelbesk 2 is a fairly easy boss fight. We'll see if we're able to damage him, but otherwise, okay, yeah. Oh, and he's even weak to my strongest sword, so this should not be a problem at all. As long as he doesn't try to corner me and hug me. That's his most dangerous attack. But yeah, you can see, boss fight already done. Piece of cake. I am obligated to pick up this chest, because the boss doesn't count as dead until you collect the chest that the boss drops. Alright. So this is an upside-down Kelbesk's floor for floor 3. This is starting to feel like I'm going to be able to pull clear Goa, which is nice. It's nice to be able to do all of it in one go. Kelbesk's floor is just a big empty maze. There are no items on it, so the only item you get from that entire floor is the item you get for beating the boss. And finally, we have Carmine's floor. Right side up, unfortunately, which I mentioned because going this way, there is a wall that is going to block our progress before we get to any items, and there's still a 25% chance that we cannot break this wall. Let's deal with that enemy. Oh, yeah. See, that's what I was worried about. 3, 4. Alright. We cannot break the wall here. So I'm gonna drop a little flame on the map to tell me to come back here when I have Sword of Fire. And other than that, it's time to go somewhere else. How about Portoa? Portoa is somewhere else. Last I checked. Oh, I also have all the items on Mount Hydra. Let's go full clear Mount Hydra. That's something I can do right now. I climbed up here once earlier, and it was before I had the Sword of Wind, and I couldn't break any of the walls. Which meant I only got one of the items. I have not come back with the Sword of Wind, which I believe is what I needed here, although I didn't actually write it down on my map. Yeah, Sword of Wind. The Tarantula's webs will drain your MP if they connect with you. My MP actually matters now because I'm using it for the flight spell. You'll notice that I'm kind of just avoiding enemies entirely by flying over them. That'll get you past most enemies. You're still able to be affected by projectiles, so you have to watch out for those, but that's just a Lysis plant. That said, I don't want to completely ignore all the enemies. There is a target level I'm looking for to beat the game by the end. I would like to be level 12, ideally. Or higher, but 12 is the sweet spot. You go much higher and you feel like you kind of wasted time grinding when you didn't need to. The reason there's a target level is because even though most of the enemies in the game scale with your level, there's a setting that's on in this flag set that has the enemies that are in the final tower, the final ascent up to the final boss, are always max scaling, so they're always going to be the same difficulty, and defeating them is kind of a pain in the butt. Ideally, you want to be level 12, have Power Ring, and have at least a bracelet. I'm sure we'll pick up the bracelet at some point. We already have the Power Ring, and I just need to make sure to actually hit level 12. Oh, that's just a mimic. Let's go ahead and defeat it for cash. Alright. That's our third and final opal statue, but that also means that Mount Hydra here, kind of a bust. That's randomizers for you, that's gonna happen sometimes. I think a good place to go now would be Desert 2, actually. And the fast way to get there is via... looks like Bryn Mawr? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's see, who wants this statue? So this statue that I have, the Code Gorilla trophy, that's gonna go to either Slime Kensu or Tag Kensu. Can't access either of those right now. Or can I? Aha! This is the back entrance of Goa. So all the stuff that I couldn't get in Goa, I can now reach by just going in the back way. We're gonna say hi to Slime Kensu here. Alright, Slime Kensu wants the love pendant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means this is Tag Kensu. And the Carissa plant goes to Aryllus. The reason I know the Code Gorilla trophy is not the item for Aryllus is because the item for Aryllus will not make a bzz noise when you use it, and it has no effect. It will instead just not actually do anything. That has to do with being able to use it while you're in chains without breaking the spell, as I understand it. So, we now have access to Carmine's basement down here. Ooh, I ran out of MP. Sure. We're gonna use this magic ring. Rude Weapon, that cures the slime status. I will probably throw that one away. Blizzard Bracelet. It's not an ideal bracelet for the tower, but it is doable. And Refresh. Refresh is nice. That is our second spell. The seed has been stingy with the magic. Alright, we're gonna fly up here. And we're gonna attempt to fight Carmine. Hopefully Carmine can be defeated. He can. Carmine is a fairly easy boss. He's the only boss in the vanilla game that you're designed to fight without the matching bracelet, and as a result, tends to be weaker stat-wise. So, yeah, boss fight's over. We can get the last two items out of Goa. Sacred Shield, one of the 3 shields you can find in chests in the randomizer. And a sousaphone. Alright. That might be our insect flute. I could go check that. Hang on, there's no point in me walking out of here. Where are we going next? Desert 1. Desert 1 is off Swan. Let's go check that cave. Let's use the inn and maybe stock up on some items before I go that way. Because I keep running out of MP and resources. Oh, never mind. Let's not stock up on items because there's not an item shop here. It's a good reason not to do that. Alright, flight was absolutely required to get in here. This is one check if I can break this wall. Which I cannot. So, that's also a bit of a bust. So that needs Sword of Fire. Oasis Cave is the next place to go. And that means warping to Portoa. Alright, now, you, I know, have items for sale. Actually buy a couple of magic rings right now while they're cheap. Yeah, that looks good. I don't really need to worry about healing because I have I have Refresh, so I can turn MP into healing if I need to. B, I have 3 opal statues, which means the next 3 times I die, I am going to get automatically revived. Which is a lot. So first of all, I can go in here. Yeah, I can go in here, and there's one loose item in here that I need to grab. That requires flight. Alright. We're gonna reset because this room is a checkpoint. Now I can fly across this bridge and grab that item. Okay. And I can fly across the purple gunk here. And get to another entrance. Now this is one of the... Ooh, okay, this is interesting. This is one of the major palace entrances. So I know it's going to have something important. And in fact, it does. This is the crypt. This is where the end game is going to be. When I am ready to fight the final boss, this is where I need to head. And I need to bring the Bow of Truth here. That's a magic ring. Alright. There are also 2 items here, which is why I'm coming through here, even though I'm not ready to face the final boss. If this next item is nothing, then I can reset and get back to Oasis Cave immediately. And preserve the MP and damage that I've taken here. Yeah, okay. So, where can I go instead? Let's make a point of marking that on the map. So, do something good in the Bow Passage and something good in Zombie Town, which I haven't found yet. That informs where I can go. I want to warp to Joel. Alright. There's another flight opening up here. I can fly up this slope, get into this cave. This is the sealed cave. Vampire cave, depending on what you want to call it. Ow. Alright, what kind of walls do we have here? Well, that's unfortunate. But we can still get 3 items here. Like our last flute. I forgot the F on that flute. We can get a Fruit of Power. Okay. Ow. We can get bullied by some shadows that I can't even see behind the walls. We can get the Psycho Shield, which is arguably the best shield in the game. It prevents paralysis, notably, which is very handy. Right, I'm going to use this while I'm in my inventory, and I'm going to warp to somewhere new. So, this sealed cave, I believe this connects here to... Where's the other end of this? Down here. there's not that many places left to go. In fact, I feel like I have fewer openings left than I have destinations. So one of these must be wrong. There must be something important on the other end of Sealed Cave. But regardless, I need Sword of Fire to get through here. I'm gonna not draw that connection yet, because I'm not convinced it's accurate. Let's see, Carissa Plant. I am reasonably confident in. Where am I going? Where am I going? Oh, I still have that once I find change, but I haven't found change yet. Let's go fight a bug. That's what I need to do. Go fight a bug. I even talked about it earlier. That is the Chiron Inn. That means I cannot use it anymore. That's fine. I don't need to use the inn to go fight a bug. Since I have all 4 flutes, I definitely have the correct flute for this. So we'll go see what it gets us. Now, I might have to guess a little bit here. Sousaphone? It is the sousaphone. Alright. Bug resists 1 element. And thankfully, it's not my best element, so I can just do Blizzard Bracelet nonsense here. And kill the bug rather quickly. And it's a good thing, too, because there's my Sword of Fire, and now the world opens up even more. Alright. I think the first place I want to go is actually that Sealed Cave, because I want to see what's on the other end of that. So, we're going immediately back to Joel. Now, here in Joel, I'm going to remember to put the speed boots back on. Oh, there's not an item shop here. Whoopsie. Alright, I might have to walk down to Bryn Mawr to resupply, depending on where this takes me. Actually, Bryn Mawr is probably not going to be the play. It's probably going to be Wild Warp back, and Oak has some items in it. Sword of Fire is, I think, my preferred sword in this game. In my opinion, it has the best level 2 and level 3 charge shots. Although Sword of Thunder is close. But of course, when it comes to playing the randomizer, all that really matters is what actually opens up the most progress. Speaking of things that are opened up, I just remembered something I still need to go do at some point, and that's go fight Motto 1. I triggered the Massacre. That means Motto 1 is going to show up at the Chiron Temple, which... Ooh, Psycho Armor. I can put that on. It has slightly lower defense than the Battle Armor, but it gives you a passive regen effect as long as you're standing still. But yeah, Motto 1 will spawn at the Chiron Temple. Chiron Temple is off of Mount Hydra. That could be a thing to do in a bit. We're gonna deal with the vampire in Vampire Cave. Fruit of Lime. Fruit of Lime is the most useless consumable in the game. It cures petrification, you know, the status effect that goes away after 5 seconds on its own. Alright, let's see if this went to where I thought it went to, or if it goes to somewhere different. Ah, it goes somewhere different. So, okay. What that tells me is this other one is actually Foglamp Cave, like I thought it might be. And this is Zombie Town, which is our last town. And conveniently, it has an end, which I will take. And then this is going to either lead to Stixie or Sabera's Fortress. Stixie is... honestly, both are good, because Stixie is 6 items, and Sabera's Fortress has a required boss in it. The bad news about this is that means Sabera's Fortress is going to be behind the Bow Passage. And that means to get there, I'm going to need to find both Bow of Sun and Bow of Moon. Which is 2 items I was hoping I was going to be able to avoid. So honestly, at this point, we're kind of on a bow hunt. We have most of the stuff done. We just need to find all 3 bows. And remember to go fight Motto 1. I'm going to do that immediately after leaving here. So we can warp to Portoa to do that fight. Oh, right. I guess I'm not doing that immediately, because I don't have warp boots. Let's use one of these magic rings. Yeah, I don't have warp boots, so we're instead wild warping out. Alright, so that's Stixie. Stixie is done. So, where should I go next? Well, I should go to Oak next, because I need to buy warp boots. Hopefully Oak sells warp boots. No, no, yes. Yes! Oh, right, I need to make room in my inventory for warp boots. Actually, let's... Nah, it's not worth the effort. I'm going to keep 2 magic rings and buy 3 pairs of warp boots. And then immediately spend one of them going to Portoa. Alright, to get to this Motto 1 boss fight, I need to climb the mountain over here. And after that, we can go do... Do I want to do Mount Saber West? I'm not convinced that I do. I'm hoping to not double dip Mount Saber West, because I guess it's not too bad. I have flight. Basically, there is a check at the very end that requires me to have a bracelet for Tornell. In this case, I know it's the Flame Bracelet. And I don't have that bracelet, so that would be an unfortunate thing to have to double dip. Sorry, not weak to fire. Are you weak to water? You're weak to water, okay. So this will be very quick. I'm going to switch to the Power Ring to do more damage while I do this level 3 charge shot. The level 3 shots are big flashy effects. They use some amount of MP, and they do a lot of damage. And so if you have a level 3 that a boss is weak to, that boss is going to be trivialized. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I fought Carmine. I fought the insect. We're going to... Yeah, I think I'm gonna do Mount Saber West while I'm here. There's also the one item in Carissa Plant Cave that I need to grab. That I might need to grab. I'm probably gonna try to avoid that one for a little while. Alright. So, some things I'm still looking for. Change would get me some stuff. Obviously I'm gonna need all 3 bows at this point. One for the final boss. Eyeglasses is interesting. That opens up a new area. I might warp to Joel next to go check that out. That's gonna be probably Waterfall Cave, maybe just take me to the lighthouse. here. I think I did Beach House. I did Tornell's house. I haven't done the lighthouse. Done the fisherman house. I haven't done, like, any of these NPCs in random houses. Ooh, a searchlight. Okay, that is for Akahana in Bryn Mawr. I think. Paralysis for those. Sorry, I'm just trying to rack my brain for what I have available to me. This is where these get pretty challenging, because you have the entire world, but it's scattered all over the place. And if you're used to playing the randomizer with unrandomized maps, you're going to be thinking, oh, I've certainly already done that check, right? When you absolutely haven't, because that check has not actually been available until like 5 minutes ago. Just gonna heal up a little bit there, because I took more damage than I would have liked from those archers. And these tigers. Alright, I still need some experience for the end of the game. I need this mushroom to actually get shoved up against the wall and die, please. Thank you. Probably switch to a stronger sword. Do damage more quickly. Oh, but I can't damage those. Alright, well, whatever. Change! Alright. Right. And you want Flame Bracelet. So change. Okay, now I have a ton of things available to me. I think the thing that I'm most interested in at the moment is going to Joel. Oh, I was gonna do Fog Lamp Cave while I was there. Oh well. That's not the right thing. This is what I want. Might have to come back for Fog Lamp Cave later. Right. This is probably gonna take me to Lighthouse. Yeah. Lighthouse has the actual lighthouse in it. The kazoo, I believe, was the alarm flute. That gets me a wind upgrade. Okay. So, Lighthouse was off of Joel. So, basically vanilla. And that means that's done. Joel doesn't have an item shop. Right. So, convenient spot to walk to that's nearby? Not really. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna actually walk over to Bryn Mawr, because I have the trade-in for Akahana there. Holy moly. I need to stop walking into enemies now. Let's use this in. The steed has decided to be a little mean and completely bury teleport. Which means I keep needing to buy warp boots as my primary means of conveyance. You call these little times you're walking around the world map to actually get to one place from another walks of shame, because it means you weren't able to manage your warp boots well enough. And there's no warp boots for sale here either! But I do have change. I guess this doesn't help me, does it? Yeah, you want the plant, like I thought. Okay. So I need to Wild Warp. And we're walking back to Oak. Good thing Oak is so close to the start and has Warp Boots. That is a fortunate thing for me. Nope. Nope, I did not mean to go into the armor shop. One of the things scaling does is it increases the price of consumables as you progress through the seed, which is starting to take a toll here, a noticeable toll. Alright, I can't do that, can't do that, can't do that, can't do that, that, or... Oh, I can do that! Okay, so I can go to Goa. Is there anything else useful near Goa that would make that a good spot to go? I guess I can then walk over to Fog Lamp and actually do Fog Lamp like I meant to. Sure. Goa. We're going to cast Change here to change into Akahana. Now that we've defeated Motto. Bro Kahana here, as he is known, he's Akahana's bro, will give us an item. Unfortunately, it was garbage. So, no luck there. Put flight back on. Okay, I can go through the Swan Gate. I can't talk to Dio, because I don't have telepathy. Alright. Speed boots. We're gonna do Fog Lamp Cave, which I kind of hope to avoid. Actually, wait. Before I do Fog Lamp Cave, isn't this right here Carissa Plant Cave? This is one item. It's kind of in the middle, which is awkward, but I can run in, grab it, and run back out. Or if it's nothing, I can just reset. That's nothing. That counts as nothing in this case. Oh, I'm about to get absolutely bodied by this bird. Yep. Alright, we're gonna head over here. Head up into Fog Lamp Cave. Fog Lamp Cave has 4 items in it. Unfortunately, the last one is buried really deep in the cave. So you kind of have to go a long way. That's just a mimic. Wait. I'm low on money. I should actually take the time to kill that mimic. Let's put on the warrior ring for a hot second while I get some money and some experience. Yeah, level 11. Back to speed boots. Gotta go fast. Orb of Fire. Okay. It's also one step closer to the Bracelet of Fire, which I need for Tornell at the top of Mount Saber West. And also just my preferred tool for the end game. Alright, so we've got the 3 quick checks. Now let's do the long, slow check. It won't be too bad with speed boots in flight, but that's still not ideal. But at this point, we're kind of running... Oh, that's not good. Okay. So, I have been slimed. You can fix slime by screen transitioning, but as you can see, you move really slowly when you're slimed. So I'm just gonna try to ooze my way back over here because I don't want to reset in the middle of this cave and lose a bunch of progress. And then I'm going to put on the Sacred Shield, which protects you from sliming. So if I'd realized how many warlocks were in this room, I would have done that to start with, but it is what it is. We're gonna build up another charge. through this wall. Second to last room. This is our last room. Oop. Hey, there's our first bow. Okay, so this actually paid off. That is something that's actually quite important. Alright. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to wild warp to the beginning. I'm going to save the game here. And we're gonna start save scumming these boots because boots are very expensive. So we're gonna go to Swan first. I probably should have used the end. Tornado bracelet. I'm gonna keep that one and not save scum it, because that's actually a pretty useful item to have for the end game. A good alternate to flame bracelet if I never find the flame bracelet. Alright, what else is open? What else is open? I can go through the change gate and leave. That's probably where I need to go. Oh, I hope there's an inn here. There it is. Hooray. I desperately need an inn. Alright. And we'll see if one of these two sells warp boots. Okay. And we're gonna use change to get past this gate. This is probably going to take me to Waterfall Cave. Yeah. That screen followed by Waterfall Cave. Perfect. There are 4 items here. I can get all of them because I have the Flute of Lime. I'm once again trying to kill this mimic because I want the money. Alright. Also gotta deal with these flail guys. We're level 12. Hopefully we're done soon. I just need 2 more bows. If I get 1 more bow, I can bail over to the bow passage, because that's going to take me to Sabero's Fortress, and that has 4 items in it that I can get fairly quickly, plus another one hidden behind Clark after you beat Sabero 1. So effectively 5 items are blocked by that. Alright, we're going to really just stop caring about enemies now, and just try to rush to the checks as quickly as possible. Mirrored shield, that's the 3rd shield that you can get from a chest. There's our flame bracelet. I have mixed feelings about seeing that. The good part is I like Flame Bracelet. It's really good for the end game. The bad news is that's also the thing that Tornell wants, which means I might have to go visit Tornell again, which is not ideal. That said, I just found my 2nd bow, so let's go test these bows. There's the bow passage. Bow passage was off of Sahara, so we're gonna warp to Sahara because we're done here now. That, by the way, is here, and I know that this is here. Okay. Use the N. Wrong way. I need to go up through the bunny meadow. I could get a check from the rabbit there if I had telepathy, but I do not. You need change in telepathy for that check. Okay. Are these the 2 bows that I need? These, like all the other key items, are unidentified. So hopefully they're the Bow of Sun and Bow of Moon. And they are. That's good news. That means we can at least beat this boss. Now, I am going to route this a little bit aggressively. I'm going to go straight to the boss, and then go back for the other 2 checks. Because if one of the 2 checks that I have to get on the way to the boss and from fighting the boss is the bow, then I'm just done here and I don't have to get the other 2 checks. But I'll get the other 2 checks if I don't find the bow along the way. Paralysis is fine. That opens up a check. Although a slightly annoying one, given that I still don't have teleport. Love Pendant is also fine, I guess? Oh, I was gonna skip that. It's fine. I'll get the left side check after the boss. Love Pendant means going back into Goa to fix up Slime Kensu. Alright, this is Sabera in disguise. Stab her a couple of times. She reveals her true form, and now we fight. Alright. Three. Ah, there's our 3rd bow. Alright, we're in go mode. That was the last of the bosses we need to fight. We just found our Bow of Truth. We can just go to the end of the game as soon as I remember where it is. The back pyramid was there, off of Rage. I need to warp to Portella. Put these speed boots back on. There are medical herbs here. Or magic rings. I can't afford even 1 magic ring. You know what? I have 2 magic rings, and I have barrier... Or, not barrier. I have 2 magic rings and 3 opals, is what I was trying to say. I don't know where barrier came from. Alright. And getting to the crypt is going this way. So now we go through the endgame sequence. Once you've beaten all the bosses, you go to Goa, or you go to the crypt, you fly through the crypt, and if you have all the bosses defeated and you have all the swords, then at the end of the crypt, Dragon 2 will spawn. He will be completely invincible unless you use the Bow of Truth, which was that last bow that we picked up. And at which point he'll reveal his true form, and you can actually fight a proper fight. Now, typically the tool I like to use against Dragon 2, if I have it, is the Storm Bracelet. However, if you take a look at my tracker, you'll note that that is the one bracelet I do not have. So, we are going to be using probably Flame Bracelet strats. Gives you the most bang for your buck. Alright, we're gonna just charge up a level 3 shot, walk into this fight, put on the bow, put on Refresh, put on Power Ring, Sacred Shield is fine. I'm doing that pause there to maintain this level 3 charge while still being able to use the bow that's set to the same button. I do have to avoid his attacks because I do not have Barrier. Barrier is a tool that I would like to have right now, but I didn't find it, and it's not an important enough tool that it's worth spending time digging for it. Not when the seed is already running a little longer than I'd like. That said, this is not outside of the realm of normality for this. I would say this is a reasonably average seed. Okay. We're going to do an RNG manipulation there. Basically, if you're on the wrong tile, he will do that attack instead of opening up his weak point like he has here. By taking off the wings, you can change your positioning just enough to actually get him to use this attack. Which he was kind enough to do 3 times in a row at that point. So, that is Dragon 2. And now we have the tower. For the tower, Flame Bracelet is my ideal tool, so we should be able to just hopefully breeze through this. Or burn through this. If it was Tornado Bracelet, it would be breezing through it. So there's 3 floors to the tower. On each floor, there's going to be a couple of gold robots that you have to defeat. And when you defeat all the gold robots, each of those doorways will spawn a group of white robots. When you defeat all the white robots on the floor, then you can proceed to the next floor. So we're just going to be spamming level 3 flame shots on these groups of robots. That one kind of got away from the others, unfortunately. Ooh, they all decided to split up, which is not what you want here. You want them kind of grouped up so you can hit them all with your level 3 charge shots. Alright, that's our first floor done. We're going to go up to the second floor. Alright, that's 1 down. That's 2 down. These helicopters will track you pretty closely. And so they can be kind of irritating and kind of dangerous. Alright, I now need to use a magic ring to have enough MP to use Flame Bracelet again. And I'm going to be a little bit aggressive with my health here. I have 3 opal statues, so I will be absolutely fine if I do take a death. 3... Whereas my MP is a little bit more of a limited resource at the moment. So using that on healing is not ideal. So yeah, that's one of my opals. That's what using an opal statue looks like. Right, that's floor 2. One gold robot, 2 gold robots. Three gold robots. Now we get the white robots. 1 set of white robots. Ooh. Okay. This helicopter has my number. Alright, we're gonna burn a second opal. Unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? I was hoping to save more opals for the actual final boss fight here. The final boss fight, Dyna is kind of a pushover if you have barrier, but gets a bit more interesting if you don't, which I currently do not. So we're gonna see how this goes. I have an opal. I should be able to just aggro him down. But if I need to, I can shoot these 2 side pods here. That's something added by the randomizer. It's just the ability to kind of shoot those. I'm gonna keep using refresh here. Alright. Pop my opal. We'll see how this goes. I might need to switch to a more defensive plan. You get a lot of iframes from using an opal statue, though, so that part is nice. Alright, let's switch to a more defensive plan, because I am now out of MP and opal statues, so I need to focus on not dying. Okay. Yeah. Once the defense pods on the sides are down, there is no more threat anymore. You can just stand here and mash. And the fight's over. And this is going to be time, right? Now. There we go. 2 hours, 1 minute, 38 seconds. That's a little long. It's been a little while since I've done one of these seeds, though, and the generation has changed recently, so I think that's probably in the realm of normality. Obviously, it's a randomizer, so, like, estimating it is hard because sometimes you'll get jet seeds. I would have someone vet the seed ahead of time and make sure it's not going to be a completely miserable seed or a way too fast seed. But I think an estimate of 2 hours, 2:15. To call it safe, let's say 2.5 hours. Somewhere in that realm is probably what I'm going to go with. So, obviously, if you're watching this, you've already seen the submission and the estimate that I put on there. So, but yeah, this is the credits. I'm actually going to skip the credits here and skip straight to... There's a stat screen where you can get timestamps of where you found the 4 swords, where you found Flight, and the 4 swords, Flight, the 3 bows, and each of the major bosses, which is really cool for comparing when you're racing against someone else, and you can see what route they took versus what route you took. Just a cool little feature that the randomizer adds. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you for taking the time to watch this submission. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.